Hello everyone, today I'm here to review for you Noobs in Space. This is a brand new game from Kosmos. It plays with 3 to 5 players, and in this box there are effectively 8 mini escape roomy style cooperative experiences that you can work through as a group. Let's go through roughly how the game plays, though I can't give too many details away. I'll give some vague ones so you get the gist. And just note that I was provided the game for the review. So in Noobs for Space, as I alluded to, you are going through as a team, cooperatively, these small 15-minute escape roomy task-based things. Now, I'm trying to describe it like that because that's kind of what it feels like. Now, the first few missions might be a bit shorter than the 15, but the latter ones you might be sort of going over that time. So in general, you are getting 8 15-minute missions. Now these have a number of tasks in them, and you as a group are trying to complete them. Unlike most escape rooms where all the information is out on the table for everyone to see, in Noobs for Space, you're going to shuffle up all the cards for that level, that mission, and they're indicated on the backs of the cards very clearly, all the cards for that mission. You shuffle them out and as evenly as possible deal them out to all the players. Now you can read what your cards say, you can describe them, and you're going to need to, but you can't show other players your cards. And in fact, once you've played it on the table, it's played, and that is, well, hopefully you've played the correct one, but it could also be the wrong one, and that's going to get you a penalty. Quite a chunky 3-minute penalty. So what are these tasks? Well, there's normally around 4 or 5 of them for you to complete, and you'll see some of them come back up again as you sort of work through, but they're not necessarily done in the same way. So let's try and contextualize this. There's one that comes up a few times, and I'm going to be as vague about this as possible, and it's to do with the rockets. You've got to play the right rocket. You are noobs in space after all. You've got to play the right rocket on the table. Now, these rockets, obviously you've got one, maybe one in your hand. Someone else has got 2 just because of the way you've shuffled them out. Someone else has got another one, and then you're sat there with the task card. It's number 1, we've got to do this first, play the right one. It's got more windows than this one, and or less windows than this one, and you're like, okay, so this one, who's got this one? How many windows does it have? What colour is it? How many thrusters does it have? Which direction is it pointing? And all that sort of stuff, and you then slowly, by communicating, describing what's on your card, you work out the right one to play. That's how these sort of things work, and how it allows to reuse some of the same cards. So you'll see levers in a number of the missions, you'll see the rockets in a number of different missions, but you will see new cards being introduced as you go through the 8 different games. So you are tasked as a group to work through the challenges. You've got to do them in order. It's got a number 1 at the top, that's the first one. Then once we think we've done that, we'll go on to number 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and hopefully we then get the answer right. So the rule book is basically 1 page or 2 pages of flavour text, then telling you to do the tutorial, which roughly tells you how to play cards. The rest of it is an answer booklet. So you flick to the right level, you see if you got it right, and you're going to compare to a 1 to 4 star rating. 1, you've done pretty bad. 4, well done to you, because I think we've managed it once out of the 8 attempts that we've had. And then, like I said, it's going to show you what cards there are, and if you've got the wrong one, or you've solved that part of the task incorrectly, you'll get a 3-minute penalty, and those add up to you getting a very bad star rating. And that's how you play Noobs in Space. It's like an escape room, but you have to communicate everything to other people. So where to start? First of all, it's a box with a deck of cards and not much else. The rulebook doesn't really even help you know what's going on. In fact, the tutorial itself only just gives you some very brief instructions. It basically means you don't need the rulebook. That's only really there to answer and tell you, yeah, you got this one right, move on to the next level, and this was your score, sort of thing. it never sort of can go, you did so badly, you can't go on, because you're not going to be replaying the levels though. The tutorial itself could have been a little bit better. It very much sort of is like, right, task 1, we need to play this other card from someone else's hand. And that's kind of it. I wish there was like one little task in there, maybe just allowed you to see a couple of different cards, just to get you involved and thinking in the right way. Because in level 1, you're thrown into it and you're like, oh, right, we've kind of had a tutorial. How is this right? How is that working? Well, we did this in the tutorial, so I think this is right. I feel like just one example task, extra, like proper one, rather than just play this card into the middle of the table and then that's the correct answer sort of thing. I wish there was one little thing where you had to discuss things between the players, and that would have made it a better tutorial. I really do like how the deck of cards is used. It's not just a case of each mission you're using this selection of cards, then you put them back in the box, never to use them again. You actually go through those sort of missions and you see the levers, the rockets, and a number of other little tasks and challenges multiple times, but they're done that each time it is a bit different, and there's a number of things that unfold I'm trying not to tell you about so you can discover it as well. But I like how it reuses and sort of slowly introduces new stuff. It means that each level you get like a few new cards into the mix, not only the new tasks that you're supposed to do, but also maybe some new cards that make that puzzle a little harder or a little different, or just a new puzzle that you've not yet seen. So it does make each level sort of feel like its own challenge as you're going along, and makes you want to go on to the next one. And wanting to go on to the next one is a bit different for an escape room. Often you sit down for like an hour, you pile your brain into that puzzle, and then you're done. You're like, okay, we've finished the escape room. And that's an hour gone. Whereas in Noobs in Space, not only is it a short 15 minutes, we can get the game to the table, play around, maybe move on, but chances are we're going to want to go straight into the next level. Now, it's also great because they're in those small chunks, you can play 2 or 3 missions, those levels, and then you can put the game away and bring it back out at another time, and you've got, well, a total of 8 levels to actually complete overall. It's just, unlike normally an escape room, it almost feels like an hour-long commitment. In this, it's like, well, we could just play one lot of it, 15 minutes. Normally, you'll want to go on to another level because you'll be like, right, we're up to speed. We smashed that one, and then the next one, you're like, oh God, scratch your head. What are we supposed to do here? Right, some numbers or this, or how are we supposed to describe that to someone else to get the right card played? And so there's fun in the fact that it's short. You can finish it, complete it, move on, but you're probably going to want to do a couple of missions each time. And like 2 missions, 30 minutes, you could squeeze that into a lunch break. One thing that might be a concern for you is, unlike the escape rooms where you can see everything, you can really work together and point things out to maybe younger members that of the gaming group you're playing with. If you're playing with family or whatever, you could work with the kids or whatever to sort of solve these sort of problems, these quests, that sort of thing. You aren't allowed to show your card to someone. So if you are struggling to convey the message of what this task is, or this bit of detail, or these pipes are doing this, sometimes, yeah, I can see if you don't like being put on the spot, which some people don't like, that pressure of having to explain what is on your card. You cannot show it. If you put it down, it's probably going to be a time penalty. Some people might not like that. That same tension, that brilliant tension that you get in escape rooms is in this game. I really enjoy that. I like that sort of that tension, that thrill of solving those puzzles, but very much if you're not a fan of escape rooms, then that tension is there in this game, and even more so, you are sometimes put on the spot. You are reading that task and you've got to convey what everyone else has to potentially be doing. And sometimes you also don't have much of an option but to sit back. Sometimes you just don't have a card that's to do with any of the tasks. So maybe task 2, it's all about, I say this word, you've got to read it down this table and say a response. Someone else maybe has another table that word then triggers a response, and so on and so on. And you're sat there going, well, I don't have any of these word tables, or I don't have any of these rockets or levers. And you are somewhat sidelined in that. Now you can try and help and talk through things and try and be like, right, remember we've got this many levers, so we need to be doing that. But it can mean at times, depending on just how you've dealt the cards out, that you don't have for this task anything to do. You are hoping just that the rest of the team can do it for you. So sometimes you're put on the spot and you have to do something, and other times you have to take a bit of a back seat. So you're not able to sort of plough through alpha gaming style as pushing, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to play this card, because sometimes you've got no information to help with, and that can be a minute or two on the sideline. Maybe a little bit of a breather from the tension and be like, this one's on you guys. If we get a penalty for this bit, it's all of you that have lost us that time. I had nothing to do with it. So overall, I've really enjoyed Noobs in Space. It's an odd name. It doesn't maybe do it justice, but the theming is there because it's all based in space. Wonder if this is going to become a line, and I kind of hope it is. Maybe Noobs in fantasy or something, another box with another 8 challenge, like missions, levels to go through. I would very much be on board with that. Of course, this is coming from me, someone that likes escape room games, someone that likes escape rooms in real life, so the idea of puzzle solving as a group, I really like that. And the twist here for Noobs in Space is that not everything is on show. It's all about trying to describe and get across to the others what you can see that you're not allowed to show them, and try and solve these little puzzles that way. It's a nice little twist, a nice little box, nice little short sort of experiences of 15 minutes, and you could be done, or you can go on to the next one. It's a bit of a shame that you can't replay them, because I'd like to forget and be able to forget them and do them again. But I'm definitely going to be passing it on, because nothing's destroyed. So I'm going to be passing it on to friends so they can really also enjoy the experience. So definitely, if you're an escape room fan, highly recommend Noobs in Space. I think you'll really enjoy it as well. Now, let me know in the comments section below if you have had a chance to play Noobs in Space. Do you agree with me or not? Let me know either way. And until next time, have a noob-filled good day.